Namaskar. Today it's June 9th, 2026. Each year on March 14 begins my 100 days journey in returning to the essence of yoga towards the celebration of International Day of Yoga on June 21st. This year I chose to revisit Maharshi Patanjali's Yoga Sūtra and share my daily practices inspired by it. Welcome to day 88 of Satvik Yogi Path, and which means we are only 12 days to celebrate International Day of Yoga. And let me tell you, International Day of Yoga will be celebrated on June 21st, which also happens to be summer solstice. I would be celebrating with the world from the Times Square, New York, and I believe you will be celebrating in your own way. Once again, welcome to day 88 of Satvik Yogi Path. Yoga Sūtra 2.37 or the 37th Yoga Sūtra from the second chapter Sadhana Pad. Asteya pratisthayam sarvaratno upasthanam. Let's recite 37th Yoga Sutra once again. Asteya pratisthayam sarvaratno upasthanam. When the one is firmly established in non-stealing, all jewels come to them. So what does this sutra actually mean? The aphorism number 37 from the second chapter Sadhana Pad. In Sanskrit, Asteya pratisthayam sarvaratno upasthanam. When one is firmly established in non-stealing, then all jewels come to them. Yesterday in day 87, we learned fruit of Satya, truthfulness. Today Maharshi Patanjali reveals the fruit of Asteya, non-stealing. This sutra teaches a profound truth. When the mind stops grasping, life begins offering. So when grasping ends, abundance begins. Before I move on, let me quickly give a shout out to It's Des 123. I have no evidence for spirituality, a higher power, God, or anything like that. I'm missing out. Can anyone help me? First of all, it's Des 123. Thank you so much for joining. Now, let me tell you, you have joined me on the 88th day of my 100 days journey towards returning to the essence of yoga in celebration of International Day of Yoga on June 21st. So first of all, I'd like to thank you for your presence. Second, this is 100 days every year, each year on March 14 begins my 100 days journey in returning to the essence of yoga towards the celebration on June 21st. So this year again, only that this year I chose to revisit Maharshi Patanjali's Yoga Sūtra, a set of 195 or maybe 196 aphorisms in Sanskrit, and I am revisiting it. So you can imagine it's day 88 of my 100 days practice, and I'm so fortunate to have you, and you have shared this question. I have no evidence for spirituality, a higher power, God, or anything like that. I'm missing out. Can anyone help me? First of all, Satvik Yogi Path is not any ritual. It is not any for any aesthetics or by any, it's not a performance. It is simple, global. It's a non-religious way, global way of living with clarity. So yoga's got nothing to do with religion, nothing at all about it. So you will get there. However, I'm very thankful for you to have joined. And today we are practicing Yoga Sūtra 37th from the second chapter, Sadhana Pad. And this is so I teach, I practice, I learn, and I teach Aṣṭāṅga Yoga, the 8 limbs of yoga system. And Asteya, day before yesterday, we practiced non-violence. Yesterday, we practiced Satya, which is truthfulness. And today, we are practicing Asteya, which is non-stealing. So these are ethical foundation of the yogic journey. Starting with yam, which is how we relate to the world. Yam, 5 yam that we practice: non-violence, truthfulness, non-stealing, which is today, brahmacharya, that is moderation of energy, and aparigraha. Aparigraha is collecting everything, possessiveness, that I won't just give up. It's all mine. But today we are practicing the third yam. Yam is the ethical foundation of yoga, yogic journey. So today, this sutra, this aphorism, teaches a profound truth that when the mind, it is all about the mind, when the mind stops grasping, abundance begins. Let us try and understand this Yoga Sutra a bit more by breaking down the Yoga Sutra word by word. Asteya pratishtayam. The first 2 words, Asteya pratishtayam, which is the Sanskrit. Yoga is in Sanskrit language, which is an ancient language from India. Asteya pratishtayam, when non-stealing is firmly established. And then comes Sarva Ratna Upasthanam. So made up of these 3 words. Sarva, everywhere. Ratna, jewels. Upasthanam, abundance arrives. So when non-stealing is firmly established, all jewels come, which means abundance arrives. When the mind is free from taking, craving, or grasping, abundance naturally flows. Asteya is not only about stealing objects, Asteya is non stealing. So, Asteya is not only about stealing objects, it is about not stealing. period. It is about not stealing. That's it. That is Asteya. So, what are these? Not stealing. Time, attention, energy, credit, opportunities, peace, emotional space. So, when you stop taking what is not yours, you stop leaking energy, right? Does that make sense? Please write in the comment that Asteya is not only about not stealing objects, like objects, a pen, a, a notebook. So, Asteya is not only about not stealing objects, but it is about not stealing time, attention, energy, credit, opportunities, peace, emotional space. So, Asteya is also about not stealing these, besides not stealing objects. So, when it's simple, when you stop taking what's not yours, you stop leaking energy, right? And when energy stops leaking, abundance becomes, abundance begins to accumulate, right? And this is the heart of Asteya, non stealing. So, why jewels? Why does the Yoga Sūtra talk about Ratna? Ratna is the Sanskrit word for the word jewels. Because jewels is not just jewelry, gemstones, material, the objects. It is clarity, opportunities, trust, support, inner richness, outer abundance, unexpected blessings. Asteya creates a magnetic field of integrity, and life responds to that field. So let me share a story from our daily life. I always love story. To better understand the Yoga Sutra and what Maharshi Patanjali is telling us. Imagine a bowl with a crack. Imagine a bowl with a crack. No matter how much water you pour, the bowl never fills, right? You have a bowl with a crack. No matter how much water you pour, the bowl never fills. Asteya seals the crack. When you stop grasping, comparing, or taking, your inner bowl becomes whole, wholesome. When you stop, when you stop grasping, taking, comparing, your inner bowl becomes wholesome. And then blessings stay, opportunities stay, clarity stays, abundance stays. And this is the meaning of all jewels come. So what are the jewels? The jewels are the support, the inner richness, outer abundance, unexpected blessings, trust, opportunities, clarity. These are the jewels. Abundance is not about possession. Abundance is about non grasping. That is abundance. So when grasping ends, abundance begins. And when you stop reaching outward, life begins reaching towards you. When you stop reaching outward, life begins reaching towards you. So, with that, we will begin our practice, our stillness practice in 4 steps. How we can practice Yoga Sūtra 37th, which is Asteya Pratishtayam Sarvaratna Upasthanam. When one is firmly established in Asteya, non-stealing, all jewels come to them. So how do we practice Asteya? How do we practice non-stealing? So let us go in steps. What is our first step? We name the sutra intention. The sutra intention. Today we are practicing Yoga Sūtra 2.37, the abundance of non-stealing. So we name the sutra, the abundance of non-stealing. We are we we are exploring the meaning of abundance, the abundance of non-stealing. Step 2, we bring one real moment to our mind. We think of one moment today where you felt scarcity, scarce, grasping, or comparison. Did any of these moment take place today or yesterday? Moment of grasping, taking, or comparing, or feeling scarcity. If such a feeling, a moment had such a feeling, we bring it to our mind. And then we we apply the sutra in silence. The third step is that we apply the sutra. What is the sutra? Non-stealing is the sutra. Abundance. So when non-stealing, when grasping stops or ends, abundance begins. That is the sutra. So we ask gently, what am I trying to take or hold or control? You ask yourself, because now you are applying the sutra, Asteya, to the practice. First, by asking, when you bring in step 2, as you bring the Asteya, the moment of grasping or taking or comparison or feeling of scarcity, or when you bring to it to your that moment to your mind. Then you apply the sutra in silence by first asking yourself, what am I trying to take or hold or control? And then, when you have asked that question and then answered it, then you would ask, what would non grasping feel like here? The control, the hold, the taking. What would non grasping feel like here? And you sit with that feeling for a few breaths. And your breath, very gentle, rising from your navel. You may place one hand gently over your navel, navel, and let your breathe, your inhale, the inhalation rise gently, and exhale, it falls gently back to the navel. So you hold that feeling, that what would non grasping be like in this situation, and then you hold the feeling for few breaths, and then you seal it with the jap, om, and the contemplation bhavna. You seal the feeling with jap. So you hold that feeling for some breaths, and then you practice with three. It's up to you. You seal it with om. Place one hand gently over your navel with your back and spine straight. Roll your shoulder if you have to. Chin slightly tucked in and looking at a point at the eye level. And now with the smile on your face, we practice om. Remember, placed one hand placed over gently over your navel. And now, as we breathe in, we take a deep breath in and exhale with om. However, the om, the prominent three parts of om is the that rises in the belly, the oo that moves through the chest, and the vibration softening at the lips. So we practice and then take the natural pause, let it be, and then the second breath, deep breath in. So let's do it 3 times. Take few short breaths. And now take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath in. And the last, take a deep breath in. And just stay like that. And you may open your eyes. And now comes the contemplating contemplating part comes. Contemplation, bhavna comes. And now the bhavna for today is that let abundance come naturally. So you would just sit and contemplate. Let abundance come naturally. That concludes our Yoga Sūtra 2.37 into today's practice. So I have a challenge. Each day I have a challenge for you. Now today's challenge is release one grasping tendency today. And then notice what flows towards you. So remember, grasping is not, non stealing is not just objects, it is also, non stealing is also on not stealing time, peace, support. Remember? So you would release one small grasping tendency today and notice what flows toward you. Let me go through what the graspings are. As Maharshi Patanjali says that Asteya is not only about not stealing objects. It is about not stealing time, attention, energy, credit, opportunities, peace, emotional space. These are also to not steal. So that's the challenge. The challenge is that you would release one small grasping tendency today. And then you would just notice what flows toward you. Day 88 teaches us that abundance is not something we chase. When Asteya becomes steady, Asteya pratishtayam, when Asteya, non stealing, becomes steady, life brings its jewels to us. And what are the jewels? Why Maharshi Patanjali is calling abundance as jewels? What are the jewels? The jewels represent clarity, opportunities, trust, support, inner richness, outer abundance, unexpected blessings. So, day 88 teaches us that abundance is not something we chase. And when Asteya, non stealing, becomes steady, life brings us jewels. Your presence, your steadiness is the real journey. Tomorrow, we explore the fruit of Brahmacharya, the fourth yum. How right use of energy leads to vitality and strength. We meet again tomorrow. Until then, stay warm, stay open, and most importantly, stay honest to your own story. I thank you all for your presence for day 88 with me. Thank you.